Lindsey, welcome. Thanks for spending some time with me.
Happy to be here.
As founder and CEO of Dryft Sleep, as the name suggests, a sleep-focused brand that helps people sleep better, sleep longer, and I think as research keeps coming out, potentially even live longer because sleep's so
Yes.
related to longevity, which is exciting. We've been working together for several years and obviously know each other sort of outside of work. So thanks for, giving me some of your time. First things first, why mouth tape? Like, where did the idea actually come from? What were you doing before the mouth tape? Tell me more about that.
Yeah. Well, the mouth tape really came into focus about 5 years ago. I've been marketing consumer goods for the past 20 years of my career, and in the last 15 years, specifically in consumer products, food, beverage, wellness. And it was actually my business partner who was a diehard mouth taper. Before it was a trend, before it hit TikTok, before COVID, she was the one that really convinced me to try it. And we both just saw a massive opportunity to bring it to more people and create a product that was better than what we had seen in the market. And Dryft Sleep was born in like
It's very interesting.
2021. Yeah.
21. Excellent. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely early. That's interesting to hear that it came out of a personal desire rather than a, hey, let's invent a brand because I want to make some money. Big
No,
difference.
yeah, it was definitely about improving our own sleep. I mean, just my business partner and I, we both have been consulting for several years. And so you get burnt out and you're tired and you want to sleep really well so that you can, be your best self the next day. And so we thought, well, this is an easy thing to try. That's not a gummy, not a pill, not a powder. Let's give it a try.
Yeah, 100%. It's an incredible product. I mean, mouth tape sounds kind of simple, but I'm guessing it wasn't. Like, what did the product development look like? How many iterations did you go through before you were happy with the product that we have today?
Yeah, well, we got lucky in that we found a manufacturer pretty early on. So we were looking exclusively domestically, which I know a lot of brands don't necessarily start that way, especially with a durable good. You go overseas. But we were lucky to find an adhesives manufacturer here in the US that we really liked. They were really great about working with us. They had small minimums. We knew we could kind of iterate and be flexible with them. And so I think from concept to launch was about 9 months, which is pretty fast, but it was only one product. We definitely went through dozens of iterations, right? Testing different fabrics, different sizes, different shapes, different features, and then of course packaging. How many per unit in a carton, et cetera, et cetera. But it took us about 9 months to get something we were really happy with, and the product has actually remained the same since day one. It's never changed. Everything about it, the pouch changed, but the design, that's about it.
That's incredible. It's a good testament to the product actually working, not actually having to have revised it since it's been in market. That's
I think
not
so.
something many people
Yeah.
can say. Do
Yeah.
you think, I mean, you obviously launched with the original product made in the USA, but I'd have to imagine made in the USA from medical grade products is a massive selling point that would ultimately help conversion on site and allow you to differentiate yourself from the competitors that can't make that claim. Because
Yeah.
ultimately it's adhesive going on your lips, right?
Yeah, when we considered that this is a product that is about as intimate as can be, right? Sitting on your face all night long while you're breathing it in, we really focused on quality over anything, over everything rather. And so finding a factory that we could really trust, their materials, their ingredients, all of their scientific documentation, that was really crucial. And that's not to say you can't find that overseas. You absolutely can. But for the quantities we were working with and the speed at which we wanted to come to market, we found someone that was the right fit for us. And, I think when you're creating a new product to bring to market, all of those factors have to be considered, right? Where do you sit in the market, right? Are you at the luxury or premium level, or are you at the lower mass level? And how does the location of where the product was made impact how that product is perceived in market? So we proudly put made in USA on all of our products because it's just, we think that that's, something people can really get behind. And we like that we keep it local.
Yeah, it gives you much more flexibility, I imagine. And, your speed to market, did you say 9 months from?
9 months. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a critical edge that no one else would have going offshore.
Yep. And I think that speaks to our experience as like veterans of the consumer product space. Like we knew how to design it, we knew how to source packaging, we knew how to have the right legal language and the website built. You helped with the website back in the day. We were able to surround ourselves with really good people because we had that network, and that really helped us go faster.
Yeah. So you've really managed to fuse a personal need with your experience to be able to create a brand that is novel, fast to market, like very early adopter.
Hmm.
And that's where, from my perspective, people often like, I want to start an ecom brand. What do I do? And it's like, well, have you had an experience or a problem in your personal life that maybe you want to try and
Yeah.
solve? And have you done this before? Because you're either
Yeah.
generally a product person or a marketing person. You're in the fortunate position where you really are both.
Yes, I am very fortunate in that way. I also, we focus on women's sleep specifically. So we saw a gap in the market that there weren't enough products speaking to women's needs. And, as you go through life, if you age over 30 or 35, your sleep needs really shift, right? Having a baby, growing your family, expanding your career, and then you enter perimenopause and menopause. And so there's a huge fluctuation in your biological systems over that time period. And so having products that you can trust is really important. We really look at that as the thread line for our entire brand. It's like we're the sleep brand you can trust. Even if you don't use all of our products, maybe you use one and then you maybe shift to another later, that's what we really want. We want to be that brand that you can trust for a long period of time. And I think that's what a lot of e-com brands get wrong is they're just trying to solve a problem in the moment for the customer, right? Something very small, which means no repeat purchase, which means no, very little long time value with that customer. And I think you have to bring it back to like, how do I, if I'm going to pay to acquire a customer, how do I keep them for, years? And I think that's what a lot of e-com brands miss in the very beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting that LTV equation dialed early is the key to
Mm.
being able to sustain the business so that you've got that predictable revenue. When you started, day zero, what moved the needle first? Was it ads? Was it PR, word of mouth? Like what was the launch strategy to go from, $0 a day to where you are now?
Yeah, it was actually Amazon. So Amazon for us was our starting point. We saw an opportunity there and kicked it off. And so from Amazon, then we moved into e-commerce because we wanted to have a brand identity outside of that platform. But I would say the biggest propellant of all of that was actually PR. Getting hits in Vogue and Harper's Bazaar and Women's Health, that has made a massive difference in the trust component for our brand. And I think why people really, they are attracted to it over others.
So that PR mention has helped you with credibility to
Yeah.
obviously sell online, sell wholesale,
Yeah.
continue Amazon as
Yeah.
the
You know,
differentiator.
exactly. Like magazine editors and writers, they're the most critical people you can have review your product because they try thousands of products. And so getting that stamp of approval, I think, is really important. Unfortunately, I see so many brands that put fake logos on their websites that just don't click into anything, right? Like, oh, we were in Vogue. Were you in Vogue? Where's that, where's that headline? And so I think having really, true PR hits that were meaningful with people that cared about the product and were willing, they weren't just reviewing it, they were comparing us to other products. And I think that's the most important thing. So I always say, like, it's not just your customers that need to, experience your product and validate it for you, but having real top tier media do that as well, it just gets the ball rolling so much faster.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. In my life before ecom, when ecom wasn't even a thing, it was all PR. And I think that's for a lot of people just been, people forget about it. They don't remember it
Hmm.
exists. It's like they're so focused on ads that
Yes.
PR is such a valuable strategy. How did you get these hits? Because you've been in, Vogue, Elle, Cosmo, Birdie, how did you make that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah, that is, I can contribute that completely to my business partner who has a background in PR. So she had great relationships with all of those editors and was able to bring it to them very early. And, we were lucky in that we had a very tight strategy for our approach. We weren't just saying this is a new product, we're saying this is a new product and why the world needs it. And I think that's something that a lot of founders miss. They just think that just because they made something new, it's newsworthy. And you really do have to tell a deeper story around it.
Yeah, and that's the why that people
Yeah,
do
the
miss.
why.
It's like we get that you've made a thing, the what, but why? What's the benefit to people? And that's part of our onboarding for when we're doing paid media for brands is
Hmm.
why. And it's amazing how many brands can't answer that question.
Yeah,
The
it's so
why is
true.
I thought people would like it, and it's like what? Like you need to solve a problem if you want to have a
Yeah.
novel business.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's also not just solving a problem for yourself. You have to see a wider market opportunity. Like
Yeah,
the products that succeed the most solve many people's problems for many different reasons, right? Like I look at the Grunz exit, the $1.2 billion acquisition last month with Unilever, and that brand didn't just make gummy vitamins. They made an entirely newly approachable system for vitamin consumption for a demographic of people in multiple segments. And I think that's how you have to look at something. It's like, it's not so simple. It's what's the bigger story and how are you solving the problem?
That's right. The product's just the vehicle. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
good
So true.
distinction. Now you launched with PR. That was, a big hit. You got all those massive mentions. What was the hardest part of scaling the e-commerce side? I know you started with Amazon. Did that kick off with ads? At what point did you transition into your own, focusing on your own .com?
hmm Yeah, it was about the same time that we started focusing on a dual channel strategy, and part of that is because we wanted to have a deeper connection with the customer. Right? You don't get that with Amazon, and that's where it's really challenging. You're also competing with things that are or other products that are lying or exaggerating, or you can't trust necessarily what they're saying, and it all comes down to visuals and very little anecdotal information outside of reviews, which we know reviews can also be challenging to find the honesty in. And so for us, it was, how do we have that direct relationship with the customer? How do we create a story that meshes well with what they're looking for? How do we use the right language to talk to them? And then how do we retain them? And that's that at that point is when we moved on to selling more, making more products, right? So we expanded from mouth tape to earplugs to magnesium sleep spray because we saw that our audience had multiple sleep needs that we could address pretty simply. And you can't really do that on Amazon. And performance advertising was certainly a crucial part of all of this. We've never been massive spenders in digital and Meta and Google, but I will say we've always spent enough that it matched our organic reach goals, right? You kind of have to do both at the same time. You have to tell the personal story while also doing the advertising for the retargeting and getting at people's minds and, utilizing those press hits, because you can't talk about your press hits all day long on organic. That's very annoying, but it does make your advertising that much more valid.
Interesting point. Yeah. So leveraging the PR hits into your paid media strategy to drive sort of probably, awareness, mid funnel conversion type ads.
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
And of course,
Subscriptions. Yeah.
repurposing UGC was a crucial part of that. Like, I think what people are missing in ads today is they're just trying to sell and they're not doing enough storytelling. And design and graphics and really good quality content that people can relate to is crucial to that.
What UGC strategy did you deploy and sort of at when? Is it an ongoing thing? Was it when you launched,
Mhm.
did you send it out to 100 people and you're still reusing that content? Like how
Yeah.
do you
I
think about
mean, we're still reusing content from years ago. Like, if it works, it works.
it? Yeah.
It's like the identity of the person that's on the screen is going to match different segments of people. So, you have your tired mom with kids, that's one audience. You have your younger woman who's, just trying to optimize her career, like that's another audience. And so you do need to have a large variety of content creators and types of content to serve the different audiences that you want to nail. And so I think, yeah, you just need to get really creative. We definitely have worked with hundreds of creators over the years, and we've kind of just found little niches along the way. So it was like active sports, parenting, career. Like, we kind of pick and choose based on the season, and then we test out that messaging, see if what works, and then keep iterating.
Have you been doing that outreach internally, or have you used a service or an app to find those creators? How do you manage it?
We've done both. I will say, I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is personal one-on-one relationships. So I always encourage other brands to get in the DMs, follow the people, build the relationships. So we've worked with some massive, well, I wouldn't say we work with them. We've built relationships with some massive beauty influencers that we just gifted. And we said, look, you're a mom like me. You're tired. I know you value your skin and the things that you put on your skin, and it's very important to you. Like, just try our product. And they gave us some amazing content, and that was no pay, no agreement, whatever. And some of those have turned into bigger relationships with paid opportunities, and some are just kind of stay small, and that's okay too. You want to be the product that your friends want to tell their friends about. At the end of the day, that's what builds the brand, because they're going to forget you if you're just making something that's not important to their lives. But if you can build a brand that they can build a relationship with, they'll tell their friends.
Yeah. And that's that, you got to make sure the overlap for influencer is, what I like to think is a 90 to 100% appropriate, meaning if I see this person promoting this product, does it seem genuine? Or is this something like
Mm,
an electric bicycle that a beauty influencer is now promoting that's
yeah,
obviously a paid placement? It's
yeah.
interesting that you've had the most success too with sort of your own managed outreach and relationship building versus a
Mhm.
sort of mass spray type
Yeah.
situation? And I'm sure you've done both
Yeah,
in the
that we've
past.
done both. We've tested it all, and I think we've had the worst quality come back to us when we just kind of sent it out to the world. And like, we just there's a lot of people that just making content for content's sake at this point, and those are just not the creators that we want to work with.
It's gonna
We
be
really want to
genuine.
build. Well, it's got to be genuine. I think every brand should focus on that. I think there's a lot of slop out there, unfortunately, and we do it for the clicks and the impressions, especially as marketers. You want to hit your KPIs, but KPIs don't build a brand, right? Like you have to have true brand story. And I think that's been really important for us as we've expanded into retail. You know, we sell on Target.com, Macy's.com, in-store at Erewhon, Anthropologie nationwide. And those buyers wanted to see that we had a relationship with our customers, that we weren't just putting ads up like that said nothing, that we're just product focused. Like we want to tell you why we're in Anthropologie. We want to tell you why we're in, Erewhon stores. Like we want to validate that your values as a consumer match our values as the brand, and those all need to match up.
Subscriptions must be a big part of your revenue strategy. When did you realize that was going to be as important as the acquisition piece?
I mean, I think like month one, that was crucial. Like, but we also engineered the product. It's a 30-day pack, right? So if you're a mouth tape user, you use it every night and you can't sleep without it. So it was a subscription from day one. Like, and I think when you're building a consumable good like we are, you have to think that way, right? You have to think about, how do I fit into this consumer's life? How do I get them to want to use this every night? Because it's not easy, right? A daily ritual is not an easy habit to form, and it takes months to form. So you can't just tell them, oh, go try the product, you're going to be fine. You have to like nurture that. So be like, how can I help you? What's working for you? What's not working for you? And with that, we do a lot of surveys. We do a lot of just outreach to our customers. What's working for you? What's not? Why did you cancel? Why are you subscribing? You know, our average subscriber is a minimum of 6 months. So it's really nice to know that like they gave it a go for 6 months. And honestly, most of those customers that tend to churn at the end of 6 months, it's because they no longer need mouth tape. They've mastered the skill of nasal breathing while they sleep. And to me, that's a total win, right? Like that's what we want. We want our customers to sleep better. So, you know, you had a great experience with my product if you churned after 6 months because you sleep so well. And hopefully,
That's
you know, you'll come back and yeah, because you'll enter another stage of life in 6 months or a year or something, and you may need something again. Maybe you've mastered nasal breathing, but maybe you have muscle aches. And so you want to try our, transdermal magnesium spray. So that's why we're building more of a sleep ecosystem than just a product line.
Yeah, I've personally had a lot of success with the spray with
Mm-hmm.
like clenching. Like that seems to be an older male issue. And I know you're focused on females, but yeah, there are micro sleep issues everywhere that I think people just don't talk about. Like even if you go to a doctor, like the standard response is kind of, well, just take some ibuprofen or,
Mm-hmm.
a muscle relaxant. It's like, well, no, is there something a bit more natural that can actually help me fix the issue rather than
Yeah.
mask it, you know?
Yeah, magnesium is a wonderful treatment for that. Like it's a pure ingredient. It's very simple. It's topical, so it doesn't interact with the systems in the same way. That's we just like to make products that are very approachable and very enjoyable to use.
And I think I want to go back to what you just mentioned about subscription frequency. And this is something
Mm-hmm.
brands I think get wrong so often is you measure the product in milliliters quantity, but when it's a consumable, the day period is far more important and easy to understand. This is a 30-day supply. When you go to subscribe,
Yes.
you like deliver every month rather than,
Mm-hmm.
oh, how many do I use every 30 days? And then people get confused. They get on these weird
Yep.
cadences, which causes massive churn.
Yep.
So if you're on a
And,
6 month sort of average subscription timeline, that's
mhm.
incredible. And I would
Yeah.
imagine that's a reason for that would be clear description, but also obviously it works.
Yeah. And I think from the technical side of things, making the cadence easily manageable for the customer is
Yeah.
crucial, right? Amazon does it the best, obviously. They're subscribe and save. And I think on any Shopify storefront, you can easily adjust it with Shopify or with Recharge or another tool. And I think you give that onus back to the give that ownership back to the customer so they can do it. Like, I mean, I'm a victim of that myself. Like I, don't I like with vitamins, for example, like I'm so diligent Monday through Friday, and then the weekend comes, and I'm like, I don't, forget to take it, and so I'm going to be off at the end of the month, and so my refill will come too fast. And I think the companies that I stick with the longest when it comes to those vitamins are the ones that make it that easy for me to adjust my subscription delivery.
Completely agree. Is there, looking back, when you first started your Shopify account, is there anything that you wish you did on day one that you've done today? Like something like that, like just making subscription adjustments easier? What was the big lesson?
Yeah, I think actually I would have pushed harder into getting reviews from our audience. We use Okendo, which is a wonderful tool, but I don't think I utilized it to the fullest extent in the early days. And I think people have very strong opinions about how they sleep, and how our products impact how they sleep. And I don't think we did a good enough job capturing that data along the way. So it's definitely something I would have fixed earlier on.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, there's often gold in those. Not that you've had any
Yeah.
from my visibility, like the 1-star reviews too, but often brands forget that your customers are talking to you in their
Yeah.
reviews. Like, use it. It's really insightful, helpful information across the business. It's not
But
something
yeah,
to
we
get
read
upset
every
about.
review. We read every review, we address it, we email them back. Like, I think that's the most important thing you can do is just start the dialogue. Why did they say that? What are their feelings? How can you address them? And sometimes you can't. Like, we've had complaints of, like, I don't like your material. It's like, well, that's my material. Like, there's certain things you can't change. And that customer is just not for you. And that's okay too, because you need to find your audience. Like, there's an audience for every product.
Yeah, you need to be customer obsessed. You are
You
product
do.
through, communications. It's interesting. So every single review, you're still going through and making sure that you are improving the business based on that feedback.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah,
We have
time
a whole
well
team
spent.
of people. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Changing gears a little bit, you started with one product. Walk me through the full range now that you make and have under the Dryft brand.
Yeah. So we have four core products: mouth tape in two sizes, a small and a large. And the small is used to make sales for the large. Basically, we use it for sampling. It's a 5-pack rather than a 30-pack. And so that's our marketing tool right there when people want to just try it. So if you email us today and say, hey, I just want to try your mouth tape, but I'm not ready to commit to a 30-day pack, we'll send you one for free. You just have to ask. So that's a fun thing we do. We have our earplugs, which are a silicone earplug, a nice upgrade from the foam earplugs that most people are used to. And then we also have a magnesium sleep spray, like I mentioned, it's topical. And then our last product is actually a mini kit, a kit of all of them in miniature form. So smaller version of the magnesium spray, the earplugs, the mouth tape, and then also an eye mask. And we did that because we saw that we had a lot of customers that wanted that. They wanted to try. They wanted to try before they buy. And it's a great way for them to try all of the products in once. And it's become a very popular seller for us in hospitality. So hotels buy it. We're working with airport stores, anywhere where sleep is king. We now sell that product. So we have relationships with the W Hotels, Four Seasons, Equinox, like I mentioned, and that's all to kind of serve that audience that's a little bit more wellness optimized in like transportation environments, if you will, or hospitality.
Yeah, I have to say, you gave me your silicon earplugs last time I was with you. And, I
Yeah,
do a couple of 100 hours a year on a flight. And
yeah,
my gosh, it was night and day, the comfort level. And not, noise canceling, amazing, but just the comfort. So the sleep was better. And I think that's the thing you're developing is this sleep system. So it's breathing,
yeah,
it's like darkness with the eye patch, it's hearing, it's relaxation with the
yep.
magnesium. You're now even stocking other sleep related products, I think, on the website. Talk
We
to me about
do.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. So Shopify Collective was introduced, I think, 2 years ago, maybe not that long ago. And we were actually one of the first users. We got on it immediately. I just saw an incredible opportunity for both us to stock other sleep products that we believed in, and then also for other wellness storefronts to stock our products. So we have, I don't know, a few dozen retailers that stock us through Shopify Collective, which means we drop ship to their customers, which has been very effective and allows us to reach a whole new audience of people. And it makes the retailer very happy because they're not stocking our product, and we have a great wholesale margin. And then we get to stock really great like supplements, eye masks, durable goods that we wouldn't normally be making just because we're not ready to like expand to that level. So I think we have like 30 products on our website right now. And it really does speak to sleep as a system, right? You should come to us and you come for the mouth tape, right? You came in via an ad. Then you're like, oh, I would love, a magnesium lotion from another brand we stock because I want it for me and my child. I need new eye masks. You can buy an eye mask from Drowsy, which is one of the brands that we stock. And we've built partnerships with all of those companies. We'll do collaborations with them on social media. We'll do emails, collabs, and it's been really fruitful. We love it. In fact, I'd love to keep expanding it.
That's amazing. How do you decide what brands you want to allow on the store? Because I know for you, you're very protective over brand and
Yeah.
efficacy. What's the
Oh,
process you run through?
we handpick every single one. We literally go out to the brand and we say, are you on Shopify Collective? And we try to convince them to get on it if they're not already. And for some brands, it's easier than others, right? Just depends on your distribution system and your warehousing and fulfillment. But some brands, they click one click and we're on and we get to carry their products. And then for others, we've gone directly to them. Well, I think one of our next steps is we will start stocking inventory of some of these other brands that we could build relationships with, really small MOQs. We'll order a little bit at a time and see how it performs. Because for us, that's an indicator of like, maybe that's what we should make next.
Yeah, got it. You've really approached that pragmatically to make sure that it aligns with your brand's values. It's going to provide value to the end user. Because I see all the time people utilizing, Shopify Collective in terms of just getting as many products as they can on their site for the odd chance that someone wants to buy something. And then all of a sudden you've got a sleep brand selling bike helmets and you just lose all
Yes,
that brand credibility,
exactly.
So do you think that now you've had this more curated marketplace experience for users as a sleep destination, that people are more aware of sleep as a category, and has it helped raise your awareness as kind of the leader in that space?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I think sleep is so multifaceted and everyone's looking for different things, right? Some people want to measure their sleep and they want the data and they're going to buy an 8 sleep and an Aura ring or something. Other people, they want solutions. So they're going to go to their CVS or something and buy NyQuil and, nose patches. And that's one customer. And then there's other people who like want to do a more holistic dive into what they're looking at. And so for that, they find us and they see the products that we've curated and they see why we've curated them, which I think is really unique. It's like we picked this eye mask because of the quality of the materials that are in it, right? And we think it goes well with, this gummy that we vetted because we know the founders. Like one brand that we do that with is Juna, that's based here in Southern California. And, like we know them, we know the CEOs and they're wonderful people and we know the science behind what they do. And so it's just like another level of trust and relationship building that I think a lot of places don't offer. And to be totally frank, in the sleep space, it's most of the curation so far is in durable goods. It's in mattresses, bedding, very expensive items you buy infrequently. We wanted to be the marketplace of high frequency, high touch items that you're going to cycle through during your lifetime.
Yeah. And I think you've hit the nail on the head. Like there's this huge movement towards things like, Whoop and, everyone's wearing Garmin watches, Apple watches, collecting all this data that tells them they had a bad night's sleep. And I
Yeah.
think people are
But
only now cottoning on to the fact that I need to do something about it. And there are
yes.
options available to me now, thankfully.
Hmm.
So there's that, I think, you know, cultural move happening where people are taking sleep so much more seriously than they had in the
Yeah.
past. It's not
Yeah.
just
You
the,
can't optimize your wellness without first optimizing your sleep. Doesn't
yeah,
matter how many hours you work out, doesn't matter how healthy you eat, you have to sleep well every night.
yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Let's talk about wholesale. Now, you mentioned before Erewhon. I believe you are now in all stores Erewhon, kind of a big deal. How did that happen?
Erewhon reached out to us. We got very lucky. Their buyer saw us. They had seen us around and said, "Will you please apply?" Which apply means just put your info in and we'll approve it. So we sent them the samples and we went through all the paperwork and it was immediate. We found a small distributor that works directly with them, so we didn't have to get in with a big grocery distributor, which was a huge advantage. And that was it. I mean, Urban Outfitters DM'd us on Instagram in year one, a buyer, and that was how we got in there. And now we're in all Anthropologie stores nationwide. I think that's where the PR has really paid off. The buyers specifically, when they see that you get these amazing press hits, they know there's some credibility and some real, there's something strong behind that brand, and I think that's been a big advantage. So
Yeah, that is the proof everyone needs, Like we always coach brands into you need PR, you need credibility. Everyone's so focused on return on ad spend.
yes,
Here's the marker. You do the PR, and as Lindsey just demonstrated, all stores Erewhon, all stores Anthropology based on the PR hits they got in their first year of
yeah,
operating, right? That's
yeah,
a linear connection. They're not instant,
mm-hmm.
but
Yep,
without it, it's next to impossible. And the
Eh,
difference, they've come to you, you trying to
yeah,
go to them. That's almost never. That's not happening. Like they're not answering people's emails of, "Hey, can I please get into the
yeah.
store?"
No. And I would add one more thing, which is organic social, crucial. I mean, having a beautiful page on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, showing you have community, showing that you talk to your audience, that you're not again putting slop up there. Like, I mean, so many brands are putting like these AI generated images up now, models, and I'm just like, does anyone believe that? Like, do we really? And especially buyers, they just see right through it. So it's like invest in that. We invest in photo shoots with they're not professional models, but they're real people who really use our products, and that's what buyers want to see.
I think that's going to be it's a sidetrack, but I think that's going to be the future going forward too. Is brands invest still in real life photography, videography, because I
Yes.
feel like there's going to be legislation eventually where you have to call out AI generated stuff like that,
Hmm.
and so I
Yeah.
think that's where a lot of brands are going to fall behind.
Yeah, but on the performance side, I would say like white label listing is a really useful asset. Like if you can build a relationship with the creator, do white labeled ads, it's going to come off that much more honest and it feels organic. So, I mean, that's even if you don't have enough funds to do a huge organic campaign of your own, that's a great way to make performance work a little bit harder for you.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. With your wholesale strategy, do you think that they create tension with each other, like wholesale and DTC, or do they complement each other? Like,
Oh, absolutely complement each other. I mean, there is no world where consumers only buy D2C anymore. We are back to full shopping in stores. You need to have a presence on shelf. You need to look good on shelf. You need to be merchandised in the right place in the right stores. They all symbiotically work together. And I would add, once you get to a certain level, adding Amazon or Walmart is another crucial part of that, right? Because consumers want to buy you, they want to rebuy you in the easiest way possible. And so they all work together. They want to discover you in store, validate that they like you, buy it on D2C because they want the experience. Maybe there's a bell and whistle that you offer, right, by becoming a subscriber or whatever. But then once they get used to that, or like they think your prices are better on a big box online store, they want to move there. So it's really just like taking it step by step to give that customer the easiest shopping experience.
yeah, I mean, that's the real life manifestation of the slogan that I don't really like, which is, meet your customers where they are. But the reality is some
Mm-hmm.
customers really just shop on Amazon, others just shop
Yeah.
Walmart. So you do need to be in all these places at some point in time just for the
Mm-hmm.
accessibility components of the brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. How has being in retail affected how you think about packaging? Because you were DTC first, and now you're on
Yeah.
shelves. Has that changed the?
Absolutely. We completely redesigned our earplug packaging after I think a year and a half because we knew that it wasn't strong enough to be on retail shelves. So we added a photo of a person's ear. We made the word silicone bigger. We wrote earplugs bigger. I think it's definitely, as someone who's been working with retailers like Whole Foods, Sprouts, Kroger, et cetera, for 15, 20 years, it's absolutely important. You don't just design your packaging for D2C anymore. Like, and I wouldn't do it from the get-go either. Like, do a barcode, do all the legalese that you may need on the back, get your trademark, like do that from day one. Because number one, I think it makes your customers see it as a more professional product, if you will, like a little more grown up, and it's that much faster to get onboarded into a retailer if you already have those things done. So yeah, I mean, the rule of thumb with any product you want to sell in retail, what is it from 10 feet away? If I can tell what it is from 10 feet away, you've done your job.
Yeah, very good advice. So day one, make sure the packaging is retail friendly, says what it is, has a UPC code. A lot of brands miss that.
They do.
Very, very good. I mean, you get the surprise and delight factor too for your DTC business. Like they pull that out of
Yeah.
the shipping box and they go, "Oh wow, this looks amazing." Versus,
Yeah.
"This looks. I know what it is. It's what I ordered." But there's no
Yeah.
surprise and delight. So you get a
Yes,
double whammy.
surprise and delight is crucial. I mean, you need to build that into your COGS whenever you're focusing on your D2C channel. What's the outer packaging or the box? Is there a sticker? Is there a personal note or a postcard? Is there a coupon code? Like all of those things need to be in the COGS from day one because you want to be able to account for that experience.
Yeah. And you're still, you're the founder of the brand. You're still actively in it every day. What does your week look like as the founder today?
My week is tiring. That's for sure. We go from marketing strategy to product development planning to I also ran our, manage finance and all of our administrative stuff, operations. Luckily, we have a very simple um, distribution channel. I mean, in terms of serving our customers, it's pretty simple. We have one warehouse that makes it a little bit easier. So I would say that it's putting out a lot of fires. It's managing a lot of different things in one day. I mean, in one day, I will go from finance and accounting in the morning to marketing by midday to operations in the afternoon to new product development at night when I'm at home going to sleep and trying new things. And my business partner and I are together in the office most days of the week, and that really helps us like stay really tuned into people. I would say remote work is definitely something I don't miss anymore. For certain things, it's totally fine, but being one on one in person with your team is just absolutely crucial. I think, especially with tactile products, you need to be in the room with people. I think, spending time in focus groups and one on one conversations with your audience, like in person if you can. Those are amazing things to do. So, yeah, my weeks are very busy at running all of this with a very lean team of people.
What's the hardest bit that no one sort of talks about? That's,
Finance.
finance.
Finance. Finance. It's getting the numbers right every day. It's profitability, it's COGS, of course in the last year it's been managing tariffs and changes in all of our inputs. Like, we've gotten some surprise bills out of nowhere for some packaging components that I was not happy about. And you just have to like figure it out and go with it. Managing taxes, managing, making sure everything in Shopify is perfectly organized and up to speed at all times, managing your products. That's, yeah, the finance is definitely the thing that kills me every day. But it's also something I think I'm good at. It's just very hard. It's
Yeah.
hard. Like
And I
when
think
you
the
don't have a
lesson,
CFO, when you don't have a CFO on board to do a lot of that stuff for you, it's on you.
yeah. And that's, I think the lesson is even though it sucks and you hate it, you have to get it right. Because if you don't
You
have
do.
the margins there to continue to acquire customers, you're going to be in trouble in a couple of years. You've got to make sure you've got runway for stock refills, those sorts
Yeah.
of things.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
since we launched, we've already seen many mouth tape brands close. They couldn't make it, right? It was, you think that that's enough sometimes to like just have a very viral product, but it's so much more than that.
it's equally about product and brand. And people often
Yes.
forget the brand component, which
Yep,
is where
they
you've
do.
really, I think, set yourself
You
aside.
it's so easy today to get the first sale, right? Ads, good content, you can get the first sale, but getting people to come back and buy you again, even if your product changes their life, it's still hard,
Mm.
right? So I think that's what a lot of brands forget.
Yeah, I'm with you. If someone came to you today that was, stuck at, let's just say, I don't know, 250K a year, what would be the advice you'd give them? Like, what would you tell? What would be the first thing you'd tell them?
Well, it depends if they're profitable or not.
There you go. So that's the first thing. Show me your numbers.
Yeah,
Are you actually
show
making
me
any
your.
money?
Yeah, it all starts with the numbers. And also, like, what's your threshold for pain, right? Because some people have, they have other gigs. They consult, they have full time jobs. Like, is this your side hustle or is this your full time job? Like, all of those factors. And I think, to be honest, that's the number one question I asked when I was consulting is lifestyle. As a founder, what lifestyle do you want out of this business? Because it takes years to build a brand. Years, whether you like it or not. Nobody's a one trick pony that's done in, 2, 3 years. Like, that's very, very rare. I mean, just look at Poppy. Poppy took 10 years to build. So I think, yeah, lifestyle comes down to it. Like, how much time do you want to spend on this? How much more money do you want to put into this?
I think that's the
What do you want
common
out of it?
misconception too, isn't it? That DTC is this remote, passive business that I can just create tomorrow and it'll self-fulfill
Mm-hmm.
and out it will go. And in my experience, it couldn't be further from the truth. Like the founders that I know that are successful, like you, are
Yeah,
grinding. They're putting in the work.
it is.
Every day's different. It's fires. It doesn't, half your day is absolutely not fun, which is why,
Hopefully you
inventing a
surround
product.
yourself with people you can have fun with. And
Yeah.
that makes it a little bit more bearable. But yeah, physical products is just hard. Period. End. It's hard.
Yeah.
There's just so many factors. So if you have an idea for a beautiful physical product, and I would add one more piece there, which is MVP, minimum viable product. Start with something that's basic. Like we started with, instead of our pouch that we have today, we actually had like a off the shelf cardboard, little thin cardboard box with a sticker on the front and a sticker on the back. Because I was like, I just need to get it out in the world.
Yeah.
And it was ugly and nobody, it's fine. Like I just needed to see if someone would buy it. And then we're like, okay, great. Now, we made some money off of Amazon those first early days. And we're like, great, we have enough money to go buy pouches. And that's what we did. So, I mean, we're almost entirely self funded to date because we've just been super scrappy and we've never looked at it as like a fleeting thing. Like it's always been, this is a business that we're building into something bigger. Everything levels up into the next thing. Every new product we've introduced has been around building a sleep system. And I think what a lot of e-com brands especially get wrong is they'll like create something that's totally off brand from what they already have because it's hot or it's like something cool or they think their customer wants it and then they miss it completely and they have to just, backpedal.
Yeah. And let's jump into that in a bit more detail because you hit the nail on the head there. You are more or less self-funded. I know you've had a lot of VCs approach you. So what obviously takes a lot of discipline to not accept those checks and just keep on mission, stay scrappy. Some months I'm sure, in the early days you weren't paying yourself, but that's
Yep.
probably paid off now where you still own and control the company.
Yep, we still own and control the company. It's great. We have a couple little angel investors that came to us because, to be honest, they approached us and we liked them and we did a good. The terms were good and we were happy and honestly, those people add value to what we do and we think that's really important. I had another company for years before I started this and I definitely didn't take the best money in that situation. I took people that didn't add value to my cap table, and I think that was a big mistake. And so I would really encourage any other founders to get smart money and also be willing to dilute a little bit if it means that you're going to build the thing you want to. And I think that comes back to lifestyle. How much percentage of this company do you need to be happy? How much life do you want to still have at the end of the day where you're not like, killing yourself? And then also like, what is your personal runway, right? How many years do you have in it before you're ready to like bounce? I think that's a really hard thing. Founders get really tired because they don't realize how hard it is. And so it's like, where's your breaking point? And then fundraise accordingly, like if you're like, I want a big team faster, I want to make this a little bit easier, I'm a better manager than I am a doer, then go hire a team, raise some money, right? Flip side is like people are like, I want to do it all myself, I'm going to own it all myself, and I'm not going to dilute. And that's okay too. Like it comes down to like, what style of business do you want to run? And I think that's the hardest question to answer for people that have never run companies before because they don't even know, right? It's not even like a factor. Like, do I want a team? Do I not want a team? Do I want a remote team? Do I want an in-person team? Like, there's just so many questions.
Yeah. And at some point, you've got to decide if you're going to make the effort. I mean, you're a rare case because you actually have the marketing background where
Mm-hmm.
others are very product focused. And you have to
Yeah.
make that decision along the line of, okay, I'm either going to try and learn this whole DTC marketing thing, email through paid media, through organic, through front end design, or I'm going to hire a team, or I'm going to hire an agency, or I'm going to hire a fractional and just get out the way and let them do their thing. Because you got to, I think, lean into your strengths. Like, where is your sweet spot? Where do you deliver the most value to your own business versus
Mm-hmm.
where are you getting in the
Absolutely.
way? You know?
Oh, couldn't be more true. I mean,
Yeah.
it's why, like, when it comes to digital ads, we've worked with you for many years, and I've referred many people to you for many years because I am not an expert in that space. I know how to manage that team. I know how to understand. I can understand the numbers, but don't put me in Google Analytics and expect me to be adjusting things all day long and bidding correctly. Like that's not my strength. But I am good at matching those dollars, that ad spend, with the brand vision. And I think that's what a lot of people miss is that they hire an agency and think the agency is going to think for them. The best companies manage the agencies as if they're an internal team member and they set expectations and KPIs and they hold those people accountable. And that's very hard to do.
Yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree. What's next for Drift then? What's the next big thing that's coming up? Or, tell me more.
Well, we have a pretty grand vision for expanding our sleep system, and that is going to include a line of sleep supplements for women over age 35. We see a massive opportunity for sleep as a category in supplements. And we know the audience, we have their feedback, we know what works for them, what doesn't work for them. We already have relationships with the retailers. So our next step is potentially bringing all of that to market in one go. And we think that there's just a massive opportunity for it.
Very smart, because, and I'm sure you're the same. This is a hard principle to get into people, but it's always, and I always will be, easier to sell your existing customers more things than acquire new customers. And in your case,
Absolutely.
you've got a huge amount of DTC customers that are loyalists. You've got the retail
Yep.
connections. So what's the next logical sideways step that complements the existing product line?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a
It's
win
like,
for
how do you
everyone.
keep your customer for a decade? That's what we focus on every day. It's like I said about the mouth tape earlier, it's like if you've mastered that skill, you still may need sleep aids down the road, but what are those? How can we complement your experience? Because our lives change and shift. We move, we change jobs, we have kids, there's so many factors. And so I think sleep as this like halo of trust, or sorry, trust is the moat for us. Like
Yeah.
for women and their sleep, they know that if they buy any of our products, we will help them sleep better. And I think that's something that we're really like sticking our hole
Personal
in the ground for
question
now.
to wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Given that you run this company, you've got a family, you're busy. How do you sleep at night?
Oh
How's
my
your
God,
sleep?
I actually sleep so well.
Yeah,
I sleep 8 to 9 hours a night. No, I
incredible.
go to bed at 9:30. So I put my kids to sleep and I go to bed right after them. So I don't watch TV at night. I don't watch any shows. That's not the best. I mean, I wish I was a little more tapped into some fun things at night, but Monday through Friday, I'm in bed at 9:30. I sleep 8 to 9 hours blissfully, as long as my kids don't wake me up in the middle of the night. And it's the same with my business partner. We sleep is a skill, and we work very hard at it.
The cheat code to staying young: get lots of sleep.
I think so, honestly, and being honest with yourself about
Yeah,
whatever stage of life that you're in, because it's not always easy. When my kids were really little, I had a really hard time sleeping, and that's probably why I was so committed to creating this company later on.
yeah. You developed it out of the personal need, and it's so important. I mean, I think every month, I pay attention to, everyone in DTC who's selling wellness stuff, but more and more you keep, hearing things from the, Brian Johnsons of the world around just how important that sleep is long, just for multiple
Yeah.
reasons. So if you need
Yep.
help with sleep or you just want to feel better, have a look at Dryft. Try the products. Lindsay's mentioned it here right away.
Yep.
She'll send you the test pack for
I'll
free.
send
Shoot
you.
her a note.
Yep. Yep.
And
Email me directly. I mean, Lindsey at driftsleep.com. I'm here. Like, we have a customer who's in her 80s and she emails us all the time. And I don't even charge her anymore. I just send her a subscription for free. I'm like, whenever you want. So it's like, that's a wonderful thing.
amazing. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Well, thank you for spending a bit of time with me today. I know you are super busy, so I appreciate you carving it out. I'll let you get back to your day. But for anyone that wants to try it out, it's Lindsey at driftsleep.com, correct? If you want to support Lindsey, just go to driftsleep.com and start buying everything. I can tell you personally, it all works great. Very intentionally developed. Thanks, Lindsey. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Sean.
No worries. I'll see you next time.